Well, good morning, church. We're going to be growing in the Proverbs again, and we're looking at Proverbs chapter 4. And if you remember yesterday, he calls out to his sons. He wants to teach them something, and so he teaches them what his father had taught him, and that was to seek out and to search for wisdom, as if you're chasing a young lady. You're not to forget her, you're not to forsake her, you're to love her, you're to prize her highly. And then she guards you, she keeps you, she does these things. And so as you have a desire to seek wisdom, she begins to guard you. And so the first section we called seek, and this one we call select. So this one is from 10 down to 19, and it is select. And we're going to be selecting the path. He goes, "Hear, my son, and accept my words, for the years of your life may be many. I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the path of uprightness. When you walk, your step will not be hampered, and if you run, you will not stumble. Keep hold of instruction, do not let go. Guard her, for she is your life. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way of the evil. Avoid it. Do not go on it. Turn from it and pass on, for they cannot sleep unless they have done wrong. They are robbed of sleep unless they have made someone stumble. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is like the light of the dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day. The way of the wicked is like deep darkness. They do not know over what they stumble." So first off, when we start reading this, we notice that "hear, my son, and accept my words" is a lot different than the way he started the proverb. He says, "Hear, O sons, a father's instruction." So it's as if in verse 1, he's calling all of his sons together. And then in verse 10, he's talking specifically to the one that came, or the one that's here, or the one that responded to the first message. And so it changed from a plural to a singular, which tells us he's speaking directly to somebody now. And this person is a person who had interest in what he said before. In other words, he knows that he needs to seek wisdom, as if he's seeking a young lady. And so then he tells this one to accept his words, that the years of your life may be many. And so you'll notice he goes back to life here. And when he was talking about life in verse 4, he was talking about wisdom will give you life. She will provide this for you. If you want to hear my words, then you will live, and you will live an abundant life. Long here, but good also. And so he says that the years of your life may be many. I have taught you the way of wisdom. I have led you in the path of uprightness. So I have told you all that you need to know. And so what did he teach him? Again, that wisdom is like this young woman that you need to chase after and you need to look for. So I've taught you the way of wisdom, and I've led you in the path of uprightness, so that if you do it, if you want her, if you seek after wisdom, when you walk, your step will not be hampered. And if you run, you will not stumble. So I've taught you what to do. Now you can walk and run without stumbling and without being hampered. And then he reminds him, keep hold of instruction and do not let go. Guard her, for she is your life. So again, he goes back to the persona of wisdom and says that she will do this. She will guard your life. If you take hold, if you keep, if you go grab onto, if you love, if you prize, if we go back into verses 6 down through 9, seeking wisdom as a young lady, then she will guard your life. And then here's the choices. You have that choice or you have this. Do not enter the path of the wicked, and do not walk in the way with them. Avoid it. Do not go on it. Turn away from it and pass on. So the two choices, you can not forsake, you can love, you can prize, you can take hold of wisdom, or you see the path of wickedness, which is not to do that, then you are not to walk on it. You are to avoid it, do not go on it, turn away from it, and pass on. So avoid, do not go on it, turn away from it, and pass on. So you avoid it at first. You know it's over there, but you don't want to go there. And when it's right in front of you, don't go on it. Don't step on it. Step back into wisdom. And then if it's there, turn away from it. Turn away from it. Pass on from it. Don't allow it to get hold of you. So 4 commands of not going on, and they're like in a staccato fashion. Avoid, do not go on, turn away, pass on. Why? For they cannot sleep unless they have done wrong. They are robbed of sleep unless they have made someone stumble. So the way of evil, the way that the people that are evil do, is they can't sleep. They can't sleep unless they've done wrong, and they can't sleep unless they've made somebody else stumble. So they want to do wrong, and they can't sleep until they do it, or they can't sleep until they've made somebody else stumble. Why? Because they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. Doing wickedness is their food. Acting in violence is their drink. And it's a strong drink. It's a intoxicating drink. But the path of the righteous is like the light of the dawn, which shines brighter and brighter until full day. See, they're doing this at night. They can't sleep, so they go out and they do these things at night. But wisdom, the path of the righteous, is like the light of the dawn. It's like getting up with the sun and being in the sun until full day, until the full strength of the sun is out there. And the idea is not that there's only half of the day. The idea is that if you seek wisdom, if you're walking in wisdom, if you're pursuing wisdom as this young lady, that it gets brighter and brighter for you. You'll be able to see more clearly and more clearly and more clearly. And then you can avoid these paths easier and easier. And then he goes back to the way of the wicked again. The way of the wicked is like deep darkness, for they do not know over what they stumble. And so let me just read through it again, and I'm just going to point out the ways and the paths. If you look, we'll start on verse 12. It says, do not walk. If you walk, your step won't be hindered. If you run, you will not stumble. So there's walking and running on the good path. And then keep hold of instruction and do not let her go. She will guard your life. Don't go to the path of the wicked. So there's a path of wisdom. There's a path of the wicked. But do not walk on it. Avoid it. Don't go on it. Turn from it. Pass on. For they don't sleep unless they do wrong. They're robbed of sleep unless they make somebody stumble. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But their path, the path of the righteous, is like the light of the dawn. It grows brighter and brighter. But the way of the wicked is like deep darkness, and they don't know over what they stumble. So Solomon is called to his sons. One has come, and he says there's 2 paths. Choose the righteous one. Choose the righteous path. And if you're choosing the righteous path, you'll be seeking after wisdom. So turn your foot, get on the righteous path, not the evil path. And you'll be able to see clearly, and wisdom will guard you. We'll look tomorrow at the rest of the passage and observe what it says. Have a good day, church.